Good morning, good morning, good morning. So excited to be here on a Monday morning. Checking my audio, my light. I think I have a lot of light today. Just gonna wait a couple of minutes for people to come in. Rashida, thank you for being here. I apologize, I'm a couple of minutes late. The connection's been really iffy. I'm actually grabbing my USA connection. We lost connection here where I am, but I'm so excited that you are here. You're my first viewer. Good morning, buenos dias. And we're gonna wait just a couple of minutes, but this topic, I know it's one that we both love so much, how to use our heart as a compass of our life. And I hope you have your coffee or tea ready, because this is one of those delicious topics that really has made a difference in my life as I surrender to the feeling of love. And how is it that we can actually just emerge in that high frequency of love without fear, without doubt, without, interesting point of views of other people and doubting ourselves because of all the limited beliefs that we were told about love and what we should or should not express. I started these lives, or Coffee with Val, out of love. I didn't plan it. I didn't sit down and say, okay, what is it that I need to do different? I need to bring audience. I have to be doing this, and the marketing pressure. No, at all. Just one morning, I was having these reflections, and I was like, I just want to hang out with anyone that is out there. I know sometimes it is seen after the fact that we record, and it's perfectly fine, and whoever is here will be here. And if it's you and me today, I love it. And I give my same passion, love, and high frequency to even you, one person. Because as Dr. Shafali taught us once is a million. And I know you're a big fan of her work. And actually, anybody that hears this replay, there is a reason why this came up. So the topic of this beautiful lecture online by Dr. Shafali is called One is a Million. Look at that, my friend. Shanda's already joined us. She's like 2 hours away. I feel like I just want to get on a boat and go have breakfast with you, Shanda. It's like I see the same ocean that you're watching, but somehow we have not been able to connect. So these lives, as I was explaining, came out of just pure love. So we had the first one that I decided to start my new year on January 18th. Thank you for the love and hearts. Then we did one that was creating the life of your dreams, which was the last one. We did one that was about emotions and triggers. And now we are here just to speak about the heart. Speak about the heart. So I want to tell you a little bit, because I want to keep these lives actually short so everybody can go back to work and do their things. The first question I want to ask you, what are the first lessons that you had around the frequency of love or love? That is a great start. I can tell you for myself that the first lesson that I had was, you need to protect your heart. People are going to step on your heart. In fact, my sweet mother always, I've shared the story before, always put her hand on my heart and said, this is a shell. I want you to envision the shell. Put it over your heart and never, ever let it open fully, because you will be hurt. So my message about love is that love is pain. So I don't know, Shanda, Rashida, if you have had any belief system from when you were younger, please type it up here so we can have some sort of dialogue. And as I was as I was growing up and becoming older, I was also, it was the fear that I was going to get hurt. And then I was told that my heart was so big that I just couldn't share it, because I would not be strong enough to cope with all the hurt and the pain. So it's not only fear, I wasn't strong enough, and it was really hard to be living under these limited beliefs. But lo and behold, as I started the spiritual work when I was 19, was my first ever meditation. And through all these years of awakening and, finding the path And Rashida says, I grew up thinking love was pain. Exactly. I mean, thank you for sharing. That is it. So how do we deconstruct and let go of that and really connect with our heart? Once you start living your own truth and really walking the path, as we know, the love, Shonda says, very similar experiences. Love is painful and scary. Can you even imagine? And look at us, all these three women here. We are like fearless of love now. I believe so for the most part. And those little specks that we still need to work on, let's deconstruct and go deeper here. So when we know that we are truly using our heart, and how do we know that we are in the right spot? It's because our own body tells us. It's the energy that is embedded when we use our heart. So it's like you have a radar like inside of you that's telling you if you are heading the right direction or not, right? Now, I'm going to give you some clear examples. A lot of times, like in service, especially with homeless, and that's something I love to do, and that's a big part of my upbringing and what I do. What happens is we're in fear to be maybe bothering that person, right? What if I say something that is not right? What if they don't want to talk to me? What if they are, under the effect of some influence and I might be hurt? Like all these, the what ifs. In the frequency of love, we need to deconstruct and destroy. Thank you, Rima Mulhim, for joining me. I want to tell you that when you really operate from that high frequency, nothing can ever go wrong. Now, as we are connecting with the frequency of love, there's a lot of things that are going to be happening along the way. A lot of triggers, a lot of pain, a lot of lessons. How much are you willing to tap into those pains, those hurts, those wounds? They might be bleeding every time you start using your heart because, people do not react right away in the same frequency. But I do want to tell you that in the long run, they will. Because the same fears that we have, other people have. Speaking of the homeless, for example, they might be, they've been mistreated in the past by somebody that was trying to help them or, just did something that was not right with whatever video they took of them or made them feel not worthy. So because they are in pain and you're just experimenting, you might let go of that beautiful opportunity to not just help them heal, but heal yourself, because we know that service is one of those aspects that actually allow us to really be in the high frequency of love. So in this balancing act of the heart, we do need to make sure we do also have emotional intelligence, right? So I'm going to walk with you about 5 steps that we need to make sure we are balanced, to yes, make sure we are also protected and we can be willing and able to embrace all that comes our way, even if it's not of high frequency of the other person. Before I go into those 5 steps, I do want to share with you that I recently, in January, probably embedded one of my most painful separations from somebody I love. And while in my interesting point of view, the other person was not in that high frequency, I was still able to see her in that high frequency because out of all the pain and all the words that were said to me that I knew were not true, I was able to see her own pain through the whole thing. And I was able to stay in that high frequency. So bottom line, when you are using your heart, even if it's somewhat painful to be receiving something that might not be of justice, that might not be fair, you can still stay in that high frequency, knowing that that person who is attacking you, who is judging you, who is pointing fingers at you that are not true, that you know that you're innocent, you can stay whole because you can feel the pain of the other person. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. But when you really use this compass, in the contrary of everything that was said to us, protect your heart, you're going to be heard, do not use your heart, use your mind, stand rooted, do not let your heart peak, there will be so much suffering. On the contrary, there's so many lessons that we learn from just staying present. feeling the feeling when it comes, and being able to balance that it is not your pain, it is the pain of others. And that if that person is using you as a punching bag, what a beautiful opportunity to be of service to somebody, right? So in this frequency of love that I call, we've got to be sure that we balance ourselves. So one is, what are the quality of the thoughts that you are having on a daily basis? Like the healing of your mind that needs to take care. What we need to be asking those questions. What are those thoughts that we're having on a daily basis? So there's different healings that we must endeavor to be able to have that emotional intelligence to cope with the heart and everything that is going on, okay? The other is, so we talked about the quality of the thoughts. We want to talk about the quality of your feelings, right? When you're talking about the quality of your feelings, we're talking about the healing of your emotions. So this is all inner work that needs to happen inside of you as you go along, using more of your heart. So of course we don't get hurt, right? One is also, what are the quality of the life that you have decided to live and your physical well-being, right? So how is it that you are healing your body on a day-to-day? How is it? Are you taking the right nutrition, exercising, doing what is right to keep your body whole in high frequency of love, because you are taking care of yourself. Of course, when I speak about love, we cannot give love unless we purely surround ourselves with pure love. So we talked about the quality of our thoughts, the quality of our feelings, the quality of how we embed our life, like the quality of the thoughts around our life and taking care of our physical body. Now we want to talk about the quality of our relationships. What kind of relationships are you having around yourself? Are they contributory? Are they adding up to your life? That is a part of healing relationships that we must also embed to be able to stay whole, to be able to stay in the high frequency of love. And also we want to make sure, heal our spirit. How are we contributing in the world? What are those small acts of kindness that we are doing every day, from smiling to somebody that is, giving you the finger, or just really saying something out of low frequency because they are hurt. So we want to be able to stay present, to understand that when we are triggered to go in that cocoon, or like my mother said, put your shell over your heart, that that we remember that it's an opportunity to grow. It's an opportunity to be of service to somebody else. And that keeps our vibration steady, open, to be able to tap in to the lesson of that other teacher that is coming our way. If we stay whole and continue to use our heart as a compass of our life, love always wins. And it's not a battle. It doesn't have to win. It's just the way it is. Same frequencies will find each other despite of time and space. Just like Rashida is in New York and Shonda is here 2 hours away, I can see the same ocean she is seeing. I know that we are feeling each other tight because it's that frequency of love that we are having. So I just want to remind you and encourage you that when you use your heart, of course there needs to be a balance, right, with the mind and heart. But I have seen that as long as I've ever used my heart with not asking anything in return and doing everything that I can in my power to be of service, to speak my truth, to show up for myself by setting healthy boundaries, to tell myself, like today, am I completely put together to come to this live? I literally just jumped out of the shower. Perhaps old Val would have been like, oh, I can't come in. Why don't I just say that the internet is down? But it's not about the physical beauty. I want us to connect with an impeccable heart that you can just focus on the frequency that I know I'm transmitting into your heart now. So those limited beliefs of how we should compose ourselves to be able to be received in the way that we think we should be received, deconstruct and destroy at this time, and so it is. So in the name of love, in the name of high frequency, I want to actually hold you tight at this moment and connect you with your pure heart and let you know that anytime that you feel lost, that you don't know the answer, that you're feeling with a frequency that is not of your highest good, that you can tap into your own heart and just know that everything that you are looking for in the outside is just inside of you. In fact, one of my favorite songs is You Don't Need, it's called Inside Out by a beautiful friend of mine, David Jr. I'm going to actually tag it in the comments. I forgot right now his last name. However, this song is so deep because it's telling us you don't need wings to fly because you have everything inside of you. So as long as you have a beating heart, even if it's not with the frequency that you feel is enough to be exchanging love with somebody, just tap into it. Because the minute you tap into somebody else's heart, that frequency will elevate. Thank you, Auda, for joining me, and IMC Dowell for joining me. I am about to close this live because I want to keep it short to 20 minutes. And I'm just going to close. I don't have music right now because, as I said at the beginning of this Instagram, the internet dropped. But without even music, I want to just ask you to close your eyes for 2 seconds and tap into your heart and understand that this that you are feeling in your hands is at your power to be able to use this energy, this frequency for your most uplifting goodness. And in doing so, know that we are one with all, one with every being that crosses our spirit. Use your heart effortless. Use your heart without fear. Use your heart as a vessel of love to embed everything that comes your way. And when in pain, and when in suffering, and when somebody is coming in your interesting point of view against you to hurt you, know that we are made by the hand of God, and no one out of the blue just comes to hurt you. They are in pain, and if they are using you to rise their spirit, to rise their frequency of love, please be a vessel of love. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope that this is a contribution to you. Please have your coffee. Cheers. God bless you. God keep you. And may this Monday be filled with so much love, and that you go out there feeling empowered to love selflessly. I wish you this from the bottom of my heart. I love you. I bless you, and I keep you close to my heart. Thank you for being such a contribution in my life. Namaste.